Please remember to subscribe to our channel, English Chatroom Podcast, for more English learning and speaking. I am your English language teacher, Thomas. Speaking English smoothly is something many people dream of. When I was a student, I also wished to speak English fluently, but I was shy, I hesitated, and I made many mistakes. One day, a teacher said something that changed my life. You can speak fluently if you practice every single day. That simple sentence stayed with me. Fluency doesn't arrive in one night. It is like growing a tree. First you plant a seed, then you water it and give it sunlight every day. Slowly, the tree grows strong. Fluency works the same way, with patience and care. One time, a young learner came to me and said, "Teacher, I want to speak English, but I always forget words." I smiled and replied, "Don't worry. Fluency is not about remembering every word. It is about practice." She asked, "But how can I practice?" I told her, "Practice is everywhere. Talk to your friends, listen to stories, sing songs, use every small chance you get." When I was in school, I loved listening to stories. My teacher would read, and I would repeat the words. At first, I was slow, but little by little, I improved. New words became part of my memory, and I grew confident. Another student once asked me, "Teacher, is fluency only about speaking quickly?" I explained, "No, fluency is about speaking clearly and making people understand you. You don't need to speak fast, you need to speak with confidence." There was a boy who spoke very fast, but no one understood him. I advised him, "Slow down, use simple words, be clear." He followed this advice, and soon everyone could understand him. His confidence grew, and speaking English became fun for him. Fluency is like a journey. You take one step at a time. You don't need to rush. One day you will look back and see how far you've come. The secret to fluency is simple. Listen. Listen to English conversations. Listen to songs. Listen to stories. The more you listen, the more you learn. I knew a girl who loved music. She listened to English songs daily. Soon, she started singing along, and her fluency improved because she was listening and repeating. Another key point is, do not fear mistakes. Mistakes are your best teachers. I had a student who was afraid to speak because she thought others would laugh at her. I told her, mistakes are lessons. Do not hide from them. One day she tried speaking in class. She made many mistakes but didn't stop. Over time, she grew stronger. She finally said to me, "Teacher, I'm not afraid anymore." That was the day she began to truly improve. Fluency also comes from thinking in English. I remember one student who always translated from his native language into English. This slowed him down. I told him, "Try to think in English. Even when you are alone, think in English." He practiced, and slowly, his fluency became natural. Another learner had a habit of mixing languages. He would start in English but then switch to his mother tongue. I told him, "Stay in English, even if you don't know a word. Try to explain it in English." This helped him stay focused, and soon he spoke only in English. Reading is another powerful way to build fluency. When you read, you see how sentences are formed, you learn vocabulary, and you understand grammar naturally. When I was learning, I read simple books. Every time I found a new word, I wrote it down and used it in a sentence. That helped me remember it. One of my students once said, "Teacher, I read this book but didn't understand everything." I replied, "That's okay. Keep reading. The more you read, the more you will understand." She continued reading daily, and after some weeks, she came back saying, "Now I understand much more." Another great method is to record yourself speaking. Listen to your own voice. Notice what you can improve. I had a student who recorded herself every day. She would listen carefully, find her mistakes, and correct them. Soon, her speech became smoother.
Practicing with a friend is also powerful. Two of my students made a rule. They would only speak English with each other. Every day, they practiced together. They corrected each other, encouraged each other, and both became fluent faster.
Fluency also grows when you use English in real life. If you are at the market, try to speak in English. If you're with friends, try to use English. One of my students worked in a shop and decided to speak English with customers. At first, it was difficult, but with time, he grew confident and fluent. Curiosity is also important. Whenever you hear a new word, don't ignore it. Find out what it means. Try to use it in conversation. One student of mine did this all the time. Every time he heard a new word, he asked me for the meaning and then used it again and again. His vocabulary became rich and so did his fluency. It also helps to have a clear goal. Ask yourself, why do I want to be fluent? One of my students wanted to travel abroad. That goal motivated her. Every day she practiced. By the time she traveled, she was fluent. Enjoying the process is very important. Fluency does not come overnight. If you enjoy the journey, it becomes easier. I knew a student who loved English movies. He watched one movie every night. At first, he needed subtitles, but later he stopped using them. He enjoyed the movies, and at the same time, his fluency improved. Repetition is another secret. The more you repeat, the stronger your memory becomes. I had a student who repeated sentences many times. Soon those sentences became natural for him in daily conversation. Speaking with different people is also useful. Everyone speaks differently. By talking to many people, you learn new styles. One shy student of mine only spoke with me. I encouraged him to talk to classmates. At first he was nervous, but later he became more confident and fluent. Talking about topics you enjoy also helps. One student loved football. Every day he spoke about football. Because he loved the topic, his words came naturally and his fluency grew. It's also okay not to know every single word. If you forget, try to explain it in another way. That keeps the conversation alive. Some students ask me, how long does fluency take? I tell them, it depends. For some, a few months. For others, longer. The key is, don't stop. Keep practicing. Sometimes practice in front of a mirror helps. You see your expressions and your body language. A shy student of mine did this daily. Slowly, she became confident and spoke with ease. If you forget a word while speaking, don't freeze. Keep going. Use another word. Stay calm. Remember also to rest. One of my students practiced too much and became frustrated. I told her, take breaks, relax, come back fresh. She listened, and her fluency improved again. You can also practice creatively. Write short stories, sing songs, or make videos. A student of mine wrote stories every day. She read them aloud, and her fluency became strong. Teaching others is another great way to improve. One student who was fluent helped her friends. Teaching made her even better. Making a routine also helps. One student practiced 30 minutes every morning. That routine made him disciplined, and soon he became fluent. Patience is important too. Some learners want fast results, but fluency takes time. Even slow progress is progress. Be patient. Listening is also part of fluency. One student listened carefully before speaking. His answers were clear because he was a good listener. A positive attitude also helps. One student always smiled even when making mistakes. This positivity gave her confidence and led her to fluency. Sometimes you need to step out of your comfort zone. One student was fine speaking in class, but shy outside. I encouraged her to try speaking with strangers. At first, she was nervous, but later she became confident and fluent. Learning from fluent speakers is also useful. Watch their style, their intonation, their confidence. One student copied her favorite English speaker. This helped her develop her own style. Fluency is like cooking. You need many ingredients: practice, patience, mistakes, listening, speaking. Together, they create the result. Celebrate small victories. Every new word, every successful conversation is progress. Celebrate it, and it will motivate you. If you get stuck while speaking, pause. Take a breath. Continue. Don't panic. This makes you calm and clear. Use new words quickly. If you learn a word today, try it tomorrow. A student of mine did this daily, and soon his vocabulary was natural. Learn from your surroundings too. Signs, menus, posters, all can teach you. One student read every English sign he saw. This gave him many useful phrases. Learn about culture as well. English is spoken in many countries. One student loved British culture and shows. It helped him understand different styles of English. Body language is another part of fluency. Even simple words become powerful with the right body language. One student communicated clearly because of this. Challenge yourself. Speak about topics you don't know well. This builds new vocabulary. One student who loved sports tried talking about science. It was hard at first, but later he became more fluent in many areas. Relaxation also helps. A tense student of mine struggled to speak. I told him to take deep breaths. That helped him relax, and his fluency improved. Asking questions is another great practice. Questions start conversations. One student always asked classmates about their day. This kept him speaking daily. Reflect on your progress too. One student kept a journal of his learning. This showed him how much he improved, and it motivated him. Be flexible. If someone doesn't understand you, change your words. A student of mine was very good at this, and it made him fluent. Connect with other learners. Join a club or group. A student of mine joined an English club. Speaking there helped her grow. Set small goals. Instead of saying, "I want to be fluent," say, "I will learn 5 words this week." One student did this, and small steps led to big fluency. Persistence is key. Even when it's hard, don't give up. One student struggled for years but didn't quit. One day he realized he had become fluent. Review old lessons. A student who often reviewed her notes remembered more and became stronger in English. Keep an open mind. English has many styles and dialects. Learn from all of them. The student loved exploring different accents, and it made him adaptable. Find joy in English, whether through books, movies, or music. Enjoy it. One student read English poetry every day, and it made her passionate and fluent. Ask for feedback. One student always asked me, "How did I do?" Feedback helped him improve. Use flashcards if you like. One student wrote words on cards and reviewed them daily. That helped his memory. Be comfortable with silence. Sometimes pausing is okay. One student thought silence was bad, but when he accepted it, he spoke more clearly. Learn phrases, not just words. Phrases make your speech natural. One student focused on this, and her English sounded smoother. Stay curious about the world. Learn new topics, ideas, and cultures. This gives you more to say in conversations. The path to fluency is not always easy, but it is always rewarding. Like a river flowing to the sea, every effort you make takes you closer to your goal. Fluency is about more than words. It is about connection. Every word you learn, every sentence you say builds a bridge to new friendships and opportunities. So, keep practicing, keep speaking, and let your voice be heard. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for more videos.